Alright, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. We are going to do the wolf mission. This is the one I kept talking about and mentioning. I thought he'd pop up sooner than this. Luckily, all of my guys are at like 6 now, so I don't care. Like, okay, I shouldn't say all my guys are at 6. I do have some lower level guys that I've been training up to 6. But no, I've got a fair number of level 6 guys that I can basically put together a team of exclusively level 6s for just this occasion. Because if you fight Wolf, at least in this version, if you fight Wolf and you kill him, that's it. He's done. He doesn't come back again.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Give him no quarter.
Impressive.
Impressive.
Confidence
I don't
surges
mind,
as the
I
enemy
don't
crumbles.
mind, I don't mind. You can blanket fire me all you like. I'm gonna kill you anyways. Sometimes I wonder if this game is a little bit balanced around the teams that you pick. Like, for instance, if
Creatures
you...
can be felled, they can be beaten.
Like, for instance, say you decide that you're gonna pick a... you're gonna bring Jester along. Do you run into more guys that do stress damage? Or, you know... Like, I know certain enemies, bosses, etc., they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like that guy right there, third from the back or front. His job is to do stress. So, my job is to kill him. Because I can, like I've said before, fix anything that's not stress.
Gnawing uncertainty.
And because I believe I've got a... No, I do not. Not in this one. But a lot of other ones I got a bonfire to sit down at. I don't have to worry about. As long as I keep my my stress below about 50 or 40, I can heal the rest of it up in the when I sit down at the bonfire.
Offensive. Decimated. Destroyed. Masterfully executed.
I'm not sure when these episodes are going to air because
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
you want to get back to playing Valkyria Chronicles starting in the beginning of November. So there might be maybe one or two episodes. It starts November. It's still Darkest Dungeon. And then after that, I think I'm going to focus on doing Valkyria Chronicles content again. And then maybe putting some Darkest Dungeon stuff on the weekend. But if you're watching this in the far, far, far future, it probably doesn't matter because you're probably watching a compilation. So you're like, it doesn't matter when he posts it. I just press the next button. I go on the next episode in this playlist. Fuck you, dog. Fuck you, stress dealer. No one likes you. Don't seem to be doing too well right now.
Back to the
In
pit.
terms of health, like, I don't have any... I mean, Lodulin can take care of himself. But my other guys
Death waits.
don't really have
The
healing
slightest
capabilities.
lapse in concentration.
So... we'll see how this goes. Not 100% sure on this one. whenever the guys are like
As the
half
food
health, you like
falls,
start to like
a
think
faint
like,
hope blossoms.
okay, like if I run another set of enemies and they decide that they're all going to target down, in this case, the bounty hunter, I'm going to be kind of fucked. I'm not going to lie. And this is before we even get to the boss. Of course, if you get a 12, do 12 a couple times, you get bounty hunter right back to where he belongs,
Continue the
top health.
onslaught. Destroy them.
You know, sort of what I'm saying. I do have some food as well in case. Alright, if we can get rid of that guy in the front and nutty guy in the back, I think we'll be okay.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken. Sedated. The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. The horror. As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Impressive. Oof.
A fortune, waiting to be spent. In Radiance, may we find victory. How quickly the tide turns.
Ugh. We're getting near the boss now. Give him a little head squish. We're gonna take our big bomb.
The bigger the beast,
We're gonna push down on his skull until his brain ends up in his mouth.
remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
It's true. It's true. So if you see there's a barrel of bombs behind him, we're gonna ignore those. Yes, the barrel is annoying, but the fact that the barrel has repost and has a ton of HP, we're not gonna fuck around with it. We're just gonna focus on the boss. And yeah, that's the plan, is we're just gonna kill the boss. And then, if need be, we will, I'm gonna check to see if the flare, I want to see if the flare clears the thing or not. Well, whatever. We'll worry about that later. So we've set ourselves up in order so that the man-at-arms, who has the most defense, protect, whatever you want to call it, is doing exactly that. I'm not sure I understand this philosophy. You know, you bring out some brigands and then you decide to shield one of them. I don't really get that, because that just means I'm gonna shoot you. And instead of it being the other way around, where you have some of your minions shield for you, which means that you're doing more damage, you're doing it the opposite, where you're creating a situation where if I try to kill one of your minions, I'm just stacking more damage on top of you. It doesn't look like you've got much of, you're not getting a buff from it either. That is unfortunate, though.
There can be no hope in this hell.
Yeah, we want to do this as well. Add some extra evasion. And then we'll start reposting after that. Yeah, that's okay. You kind of hit the wrong guy there. Because Flagellant can regain his health. And when he sprays blood all over everyone on death's door, it helps to heal them a little bit. So yeah. The fact that the bounty hunter, who's good against, I believe he's good against humans, and the arbalist, who's able to target, both of these guys are benefiting from targeting. Yeah. Even if Man-at-Arms doesn't do a lot of damage, which isn't the point, the design is to get him to repost. I can still use times up, boom, 17 damage. Yeah, the repost, it's so good. You know, yeah, I take some damage, but the fact that I'm able to then, you know, repost some of that damage back into the boss, because you just have. Then I could use this again to protect the arbalist if I want. I'm not going to do, but I could. And then whenever that bomb explodes, I could repost into him again.
The ground quakes.
Yeah, so 6 isn't a lot of damage, but doing bleed on top of bleed, you know, starts to pile up there. And 2 turns. I mean, yeah, he eats right through the bleed, but 44 is a lot. Jeez. Not on death's door yet. That's okay, because you're gonna be dead here in a second. Yeah, I gotta do that. I'm gonna defend for you. Can't really worry about targeting because he'll go right through the target without much trouble. He'll basically burn through it is what I'm trying to say. He's got 8 more, so I need to damage him one more time. Oh wait, no, I need to... Yeah, he doesn't have bleed anymore. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. A lot of damage, I'm not gonna lie.
Set the stage for heroism. Or
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about you. Hey, how about I target the guy who's being shielded? Whoops. Probably wish you hadn't done that. Again, I feel like that should be the opposite. The rest of these guys are gonna blow it. But don't worry about the barrel of bombs, because that's not gonna... It's not gonna make the battle go away. You know?
This expedition at
You know,
least promises
whatever.
success.
Yeah, I'll just flip-flop these things here. I don't need that. Gold is good. I'll trade that for that. Or I can just even leave the gold if I want to. And then that I'll just switch out with that. So go home. Oh yeah, I forgot you gotta go down here. So this is just if you've got a couple extra not shovels, you can do this, which I would not, if you don't have the shovels, I would not suggest doing this. Yeah, flagellants can eat someone else's heart. Alright, so that's the ancestor's secret. Isn't that nice? I don't care about these things. I get rid of that that one trinket down there at the bottom, but that's about it. Bus would be good as well, but I'm not sure I want to trade it for anything I have right here. And then we're gonna go over this way. If need be, we'll just escape from any of the extra battles that we're doing here. Because we've completed the quest, we just need to get out of here. What a jerk. So we're just looking for extra treasure right now, because once you beat the wolf, you don't get to come back here again. So I'm making sure I collect any treasures that are in here. Not that his treasures are unique other than the one you get for defeating him, but it's still worth, you know, searching his little treasure chest to see if there's anything worth finding.
Their cursed champion falls. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna have to start making choices here, because do I want this? Do I want that? I mean, obviously, if it was something super great, then yeah, I'd take that.
weapon that cuts on its own. A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Here's a question, since we have a little bit of time. How was your Halloween? I don't really have much to say about my Halloween yet because I'm recording these in the past and haven't had Halloween yet. But I'm sure yours is going well. Plan down to have candy this year. I've already bought my candy, so we're good to go with about 3 days remaining December or October. So, but I'm looking forward to it. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, I love watching, seeing what the little kids do, what's popular, what's not, you know, that sort of stuff.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
I don't really know what kids do for Halloween, or what the, as I put in quotation mark, the rules of Halloween are. Because the rules of Halloween when I was growing up was, are you in high school? You probably shouldn't be trick-or-treating anymore. If you're not in high school, probably should be getting some of that free candy. My brother, when he was growing up, at some point in middle school, like 5th, 6th grade, they stopped going trick-or-treating. And I'm like, Greg, where am I getting all my candy if you're not trick-or-treating? And he's like, I'm not your candy bowl, Chris. You fucking go get your own damn candy. Like, but I don't want to buy my own candy.
I brought my colleagues back with much of their intellect intact. A remarkable triumph for even the most experienced necromancer. Freed from the trappings of their humanity, they plied their terrible trade anew. The dead reviving the dead, on and on down the years. Forever.
It's a nice thought, but usually what happens is, well, I shouldn't say that because different lores have different rules, but in most cases when the necromancer dies, so does everything it's summoned. So, you know, if you, sort of like the head vampire thing in fiction, you know, where you kill the head vampire because only by killing the head vampire do you ultimately end the curse of the vampire, or you release its victims from its curse. Because if you are not the head vampire, that vampire, fuck this guy. This guy right here, fuck him. So what he does is he buffs the party, he heals the party, he revives the party. So you have to get rid of him, but he's a backline enemy. One of the, well, close to back. I mean, he's in slot 3 here, but he could be in slot 4 if there was another guy. So you can't kill the guys in front, but you want to because they've been buffed. And then he can further buff them by giving them an additional whatever percentage. You'll see right here. So, you got a buff on top of a buff. Isn't that great? But what I was saying earlier about Halloween, like, I don't know what the rules are. It seems to come and go. When I was very young, you would still see freshmen in high school trick-or-treating. Why? Because they go out, spend, you know, a couple bucks to either make their own costume, go buy a costume, and they would get like a bag full of candy. And obviously the bigger you are, the more houses you can hit. So you start hitting, like, particularly in my old neighborhood where there are a lot of townhouses, you could hit I want to say 6 houses in under 5 minutes. I mean, if you're not cutting through their yard, that is. You're going up along their patio, you're along their walkway, ringing their doorbell, getting the candy, walking back, going to the street, coming back, and then going down. And you're not cutting between their lawns. Yeah, you could easily hit those houses every 30 seconds or so, depending on how fast you are. But if you start cutting in through lawns, you know, like not, you know, going through their grass, which some people hate, some people don't care, you could just blast right through those houses. Get a ton of candy.
Radiance, may we find victory.
One year we had snow. When I was a little kid, we had snow on Halloween. And we were carrying paper bags at that point. That was last year we carried paper bags because as the candy got heavy, we would drag it through the snow and then the paper bag would get wet and our candy dropped in a snowdrift somewhere. I'm sure some kid found it and picked it up along the way because we didn't have snow for all that long. It was like 2 days and then all the snow melted.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
But yeah, I got a lot of good Halloween memories. Mainly just simply just around trick-or-treating. You know, it's just, you know, I lived in a neighborhood with dozens of kids. And by dozens of kids, I mean more than dozens of kids. The neighborhood was so chock full of kids that in order to pick up all the kids, they had to run 2 school buses. Because elementary school was from kindergarten through 5th grade. So that was, what, 6 grades worth of kids? And even though you could fit 3 kids per seat, unlike in high school, you could really only fit 2.
Singular strike.
Still had that many kids in the school system that, you know, at least going to my elementary school, that you needed 2, coming from my immediate neighborhood, you needed 2 full school buses. You know, you had one that would, you know, take the first half the kids, and then the same driver would come back and do the second half of the neighborhood because there were so many damn kids. So, because the neighborhood, like I said, is so well condensed and there were so many kids, there were tons and tons of people who would hand out trick-or-treat candy, you know. So, I've complained about this in the past. I don't think my neighbors much care for you know, being normal human beings and handing out trick-or-treat candy because I was on my I've got probably 12 people that live on my circle, and I'm like one of 2 people that hand out candy. Which I think is messed up. But, you know, I'm not obviously gonna go door to door and put a gun to people's head and say, hey, you want to keep your house, you're going to hand out trick-or-treat candy. Their choice, obviously. They're Americans. They're people. They have a choice to not hand out candy. They have a choice to hand out candy. And I know my neighborhood's got kids in it. It doesn't have nearly as many as this old neighborhood I keep bringing up. But it's, you know, then again, I mean, that development was like hooked to 2 other developments. So you had like the original housing development, and then they added another big housing development like 1-2 blocks up the street from me. So like, you know, you could easily just go, well, the way I did it was we'd go around our cul-de-sac, which had about 10 houses on it, and then you'd go up the street along the row of townhouses, and you'd hit maybe 14 to 16 townhouses that way. There was another set of townhouses directly after that. You'd hit another 10 or so, and then you'd be in the new development, which they called the Heights, and then those were all houses. So you would go down one side of the houses. It would take you longer, but generally it was worth it. And you go all the way up the hill, and you come all the way down the hill, and then you'd wrap around, then you'd hit another set of townhouses, and the townhouses went up and around, and then once you got to the end of those townhouses, you would just cut back I would cut back into my cul-de-sac because there was literally 2 yards between the height and my cul-de-sac, so I would just cut between them, and then we would head down into the rest of the old development, and you'd hit all these. You'd go as far down as you could literally go. You would time it because there would be like 2 hours for trick-or-treating, so you would time yourself. However far down you went down the street, you need to make sure that you had enough time to get back up the street. So if you could hit, say, another 25 to 50 well, 50 houses is too many, but say you could hit another 25 houses towards the end of all of this, you got like another 15, 20 minutes. So you go 10 minutes down, you do 10 minutes back, and then trick-or-treat ends, and the police tell you to go home. Or by that time, some of the people have already run out of their Halloween candy, so you just skip their house and go to the ones that have stuff. You know, until there's no houses with lights on, and then you go home. Which, again, different time of I grew up at a different time when you would go, ring the doorbell, people would hand you candy, you got your parents right behind you, nobody worried about jack shit. Now I gotta fucking stand at the corner of my, because between COVID and people getting fucking, I don't know, I don't think anyone got abducted. I could be wrong, but like people getting nervous about kids getting pulled into the house and door locking and the kid getting molested or something. I don't know. I've never met a trick-or-treating crew that has been young enough to be abducted that doesn't have their parents directly on their heels.
In tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
And yeah. But the trick-or-treat was fun. We'd usually fill about, I'd usually get well, between me and my brother, we would get one large, whatever you want to call it, one, you know, big mixing bowl, the biggest mixing bowl that we could get. We'd get one of those each. For me, my brother would have his own mixing bowl. And then usually we'd have spillover, i.e. we couldn't fit it all in those bowls, so we would end up with like one medium to small size bowl each, depending on how well we pulled candy in. And if I can be an old man with my cane for just a second, I remember when the candy bars were mini size, or snack size, not the mini size. Now they only want to give you some mini size candy bars, which is a half of a half. You know, or half of a quarter, which is okay. I get it. You want to prevent childhood obesity, so you cut the candy bar in half. You get the little snack-sized ones, which are tiny. I don't know. They make up maybe a third to a quarter of a regular candy bar. Half if you're talking about probably today's candy bars. And then you do half of a half of a half to the point that it's like you're just getting a little square of your Milky Way bar. It's like, yeah, it's enough for me, I guess, to get the sensation or the taste of a Milky Way bar without it actually affecting anything. Hi, Mr. Necromancer. How are you today?
Nightmare-made material.
Yep, we're gonna pop our holy waters because that's gonna give me some buffs. Hopefully, I'll remember to do that on each character. As you can see, I'm already forgetting after just one character. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Pop holy water. Judgment. That's okay. I don't have any healing to do right now. Vessel's job is to heal. She can heal after this. Okay, whatever. That was just some stress damage. That's okay. Guess who's really good against unholy? That's right. Crusader is good against unholy. Vestal's also somewhat good against it. But I have her set up in such a way where she's a healer, not a damage dealer. Let's stack some poison. Let's stack some poison. Or we could bleed some people. That's good too. Doesn't work on skeletons, though. They have high bleed resistance. So basically, you don't bleed them because they don't have any blood. Mark. Oh hey, Mr. Necromancer. Let's since you're you're poisoned, and I get bonus damage whenever you're poisoned. Let me just kind of put a knife into you. Oh. Oh darn, you did some damage to me, even though you're at half health and it's only turn 3. What's that? More poison? Yeah, have more poison. That's always good. Let's keep stacking the poison. You're at 12 right now. Alright, Vestal. Turn 3. Still haven't needed to heal yet. Oh yeah, those guys are both invisible. That's okay. We'll just heal a little bit here. I was hoping for more damage there. That's unfortunate. Stack more poison. Stack more poison. Yeah, we're just gonna keep stacking poison until you die. In some games, you throw poison, it says 3 damage per turn. And that's about as much as you can do. In this game, you get 3 damage plus 3 damage plus 3 damage plus. You just keep stacking on top of it. And until they run out of poison, i.e. they never get below 3 turns, yeah, we'll just keep stacking it. So, you know, like turn 1 you're doing 3 damage, and turn 2 you're doing 6 damage, and now I'm up to 24 damage. And you're gonna be dead here in a second. Which is fine by me. First heal of the match. Turn 5. Right. And... yep, that's what we'll do there. Grave Robber, you're gonna throw a knife here soon. This may kill the Necromancer, may not. Not sure. We'll find out. Yeah, you got one more. You got essentially one more turn. I'm gonna do damage somewhere. So you're going to die.
With no living sinew to actuate them, will these walking bones...
This is what I mentioned earlier in the episode. Without the Necromancer, they all die.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Alright, well that's the victory. So until next time, I hope you guys all have a good one. We'll take on another boss in the next episode. So until then, I hope you again have a good one.
You answered the letter. Now, like me, you are a part of this place.